Why, hello. Fancy seeing you here. Ha. Welcome to another Success Martial Arts video. In this one, carrying on our Open Flow number 2 video series. In this video, we're breaking down triple flip. So this one, Mrs. G loves to call the yeehaw or the cowboy flip because you feel like you're a cowboy swinging a lasso over your head. So the actual strikes that we're doing in this one are what are called doubletes. So doublete means double. So when I do this, doublete strikes are swinging. We do the one strike, we swing it all the way around our head and do it again. So that's what the family of strikes are called in this video. But the flow is what we call triple flips. So as we go through, going to be breaking it down, showing you all the basics, basic footwork, basic flow, and then we'll have a section where we're putting the smooth flow together, and then our section on repetition like we've done in the previous Open Flow number 2 video. So stick with me. Let's get to training. All right, triple flip. So let's get into these basics. We are going to move a little faster in this one. You've been going through the other ones, and honestly, triple flip is actually a pretty easy flow to drill. So we're going to go through a couple of times each side with the absolute basics, and then we'll move on to the smoother flow and the repetition. So starting out, as always, red and black in my right hand, green and blue in my left hand. So you know which hand to be using based on what color stick I'm flipping around. So starting out in our open stance, good right foot in front, elbows in tight, good hands up. So we start with the right hand. We're doing 3 strikes in a row. So I'm going to start out with that high strike that we start so many of our patterns with. And instead of bringing that one back or flowing it down, what I'm going to do is actually hit and bring it all the way around my head, and I hit again. Then I bring it all the way around my head, but this time the third one is going to be a low strike. So high strike, low strike. Bring that stick back onto my shoulders, step up, step back. Then I do it with my left hand. So high, around the head, high, around the head, low. Back up onto my shoulder, I go up, I go back, and I go high, around my head, high, around my head, low. Bring it back onto my shoulder, up and back, high, around, low. Back on the shoulder as I step up and back, one more time each side, high, around, low. Back on shoulder, step up, step back, high, around, low. Back up onto my shoulder, step up, step back. Now, before we move to the next section, I just want to turn a little bit sideways so you can see from a little different angle and just kind of see how my stick is going around. So if I'm in my stance this way, what a lot of people do is they hit, and as they're coming around, they let the tip of their stick drop. So when you're coming around your head, you kind of get stuck on the other stick here. So what we want to do is keep our stick tip up a bit. So that way we got a nice flow, hit all the way around, hit all the way around down low, and we don't get caught up on the stick that's on the shoulder. So if I switch my feet and I go the other way, same drill, hit, keeping that stick tip nice and high for the second hit, coming around for the down low hit. Time to make it a little smoother of a flow. So now, again, taking away that gap of switching which hand we're using, switching our feet, so we got that constant offense. So starting out, sticks on shoulder in our open stance. All right, so again, we start out with the triple hits, right? So hit, around, hit, and we go around as we go low. That's a step up, Step back as we change hands. High, around high, around low as we step back. Bringing that stick back as we transition to the other side. High, around high, around low as we step up. Stepping back high, around high, around low. Stepping up and back high, around high, stepping up on that low, stepping back on the high, around high, around low as we're stepping up, and then stepping back. So the footwork pattern is the same. You're stepping up on the last strike you're using in one hand. So that's where the step up always happens. Step back happens on the first strike of the other hand. So next section is our repetition section, putting it all together, 10 in a row. So stick with us. Let's get done. Repetition time. Here we go. So sticks right, red and black, blue and green, the left. Here we go. Sticks on shoulders, 10 in a row, starting slow, building our speed as we go. Ready and go. 1, around high, around up, back, around high, around up, and 2, around high, around low, and high, around high, around low, and 3, around high, around low, high, around high, around low, 4, around high, around low, 4, around high, around low, 5, around high, around low, hit, high, low, 6, around high, around low, high, around high, around low, 7, around high, around low, high, around high, around low, 8, around high, around low, 8, around high, around low, 9, around high, around low, 9, around high, around low, high, around high, around low, high, around high, and low, high. So, 10 in a row. Obviously, you can go a lot faster than that, but this is a pretty good training video. Once you can keep up with this pretty easily, then you are free to do this on your own and just really whip it as fast as you can, as long as you make sure you're doing it all correct. So, thank you for training. We'll see you on the next one.